Sorry. I think I did. Yeah. All of my stuff is actually on my Twitch homepage, like all my links.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're making Overwatch 2.
Cash grab.
Well, right, but it's not going to work that well, right? Like, people already paid for the first one?
They'll probably come out with new characters and incentives for it. New game modes, probably.
I just don't understand why they couldn't continually add those things to the current Overwatch.
Again, cash grab.
Yes. I don't know, man. Like, it's like they were sitting in their fucking boardroom and they're like, wow, Overwatch is dying, ladies and gentlemen, what do we do? And it's like that typical meme where people are all listing off really shitty ideas, and then somebody lists off one really good idea and then they throw them out the window. You know that meme I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Why don't we just add it to the current game? Because people already paid for that one. Out the window. I went to add a picture to my Instagram, and I added the little plus button there, and the first thing that shows up is the pictures on your camera roll, and specifically it puts in the little Instagram frame the most recent camera picture on your camera roll, and mine was a saucy picture that I took while I was laying in the sun on the floor yesterday. So I hit little plus on Instagram, and then I just saw my fucking naked ass body. I was like, whoa, not that one. That there. Let's put that there.
That post on my privates so that.
Wait, you're putting it where?
What? Who does what where?
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Oh, it says live now. I have to press the button. Is my stream deck working? Boom. It is. Hello, everybody. Ooh, I spelled that wrong. I don't know if can I put those things in? Oh, you totally can. Update information. All right. Hello, everybody. Excuse me. Sorry, we have a new intern as a production assistant. I need you to stop thank you. The music. Jesus Christ. It's 11:08. As far as late is concerned, today is not that bad. I think the latest I was today was getting in touch with you for the pre-show, and I was only late by like 6 minutes. So, that's kind of a record. I think that we put the show on at like 11:02, which is not that bad. I'm trying to narrow it down more and more, but one of the primary functions of the show is to. Oh, please take your time. Finish drinking. Okay. One of the primary functions of the show is to wake my ass up on Sundays. So sometimes I cut that a little close.
It worked.
Indeed it did. Torgot just subbed with Torgot's Amazon Prime. Thank you for using that perk of Amazon Prime here. Appreciate it. River Six already well ahead of us with the volley. Smoke right behind them. I still feel like a dum-dum every time I look at your name, man. Like, I think that might stick with me forever, bro. You know what makes me really happy is that every time we pop into new streams, people are like, Silver Smoke. Oh, I get it. Silver Smoke. That's fucking cool. You like oak trees? And then I'm like, wow, man, that's just me.
No, because Willie, the guy that I was playing with the other day, he's been calling me Smowak for a while.
Oh, yeah, but we're talking about the same guy who fucked with you with saying he couldn't hear your audio and. Right. Looks like River Styx is River Styx also. Yeah, but River Styx is also another one of those people notorious for fucking with people. So, I'm gonna continually take the your name grain of salt thing. Fix my camera here. I don't really need to see my whole ass TV. All right. Let's get rolling. Welcome everybody to episode 17, if you can believe it. This is Sunday Tea with Bowborne and the Archers. The archer that we have on specifically today, alongside those of you in the chat, is going to be Silver Smoke. Please don't make the silly, simple mistake of calling him Silver Smoak. That's not his name. That's not his name. That's not his name. Anyway, today we are going to have a bit of a special episode. As you can maybe see in the title, we're going to be talking about Kyudo. People are like, what is Kyudo? And how many times can you say that wrong or right during the day? That's irrelevant. The point is I'm not really sure what Kyudo is like in its entirety. I've heard of it. It's a martial art from Japan that is archery based. It's all about archery. The difference here is it's not necessarily about putting the arrow in the 10 ring like the rest of the world's archery, I guess. It's actually a lot more about form. It's like I said earlier, it's a bit of a martial art. So we're going to do some research today. We're going to all learn about what Kyudo is together. Although we need to slow down a little bit because I unfortunately am shockingly sober. So you wanna smoke one there with us, Smoke?
Yes.
I'm gonna put the lo-fi back on if we're gonna smoke, because we're just gonna have a smoke break. We're gonna let everybody jump into the show. We're gonna give it a few minutes for people to join us. If y'all are in the Mountain Standard Time Zone, make a wish. It's 11:11. Do you think it's true that if you tell people what your wish is, that it won't come true?
No, because potentially that opens avenues for your dream to become true.
Because then people will know what it was.
Exactly. Well, you might want to go on a date with somebody. What happens if you don't tell them? If you tell them, it might happen. So
right, but I don't really think that telling everybody that my 11/11 wish is to go on a date with a person is the best way for that person to find out I want to go on a date with that person. Right? Like I should hit them up. I don't know, man. I definitely have just handfuls of secret crushes of people on the internet. Because it's a pandemic, I guess. I don't really talk to anybody in real life, though there's a couple there too. I don't know. My 11/11 wish isn't really that kind of. I make the same 11/11 wish twice a day if I get the chance, and it's not really one of those things that I think would or wouldn't come true based on if people knew about it. I don't know. You want to break the mold of superstition and talk about each other's 11/11 wishes? Chat, how about you, chat? Y'all want to get down on this? I gotta go grab some fucking butane. Go on, I can hear you.
Well, I mean, first thing is I don't know what an 11/11 wish is. So
I literally just said it's 11/11.
No,
I think you should.
Not once.
All right.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me. They can't. I don't have this many audio filters on my Discord. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, an 11/11 wish is when the clock strikes 11:11, as you might suspect, 4 ones, you make a wish, because it's apparently lucky that in all of the times of the day that you spend your meager human existence looking at a clock, it's lucky if you happen to look at it over on 11/11. I don't know why. We could probably do that another episode. But I do. Every time I look at the clock and it's 11:11, I make a wish. You're telling me that's the first time you've heard that in your whole life?
Correct. I mean, I've heard of the
Cool.
wish on a shooting star, or like stuff like that, but never on. Because at that point, I just like wait for 11 to come around and like make a wish every day.
All right.
Twice a day.
Without telling you why that wouldn't work, I want you to do this for the next week. Try and keep an eye on the clock for 11:11, okay?
Okay.
And you can text me every time you do, But I suspect that it's going to be a handful of times, 2 or 3 times that you actually catch it on 11:11. Because every time I wait around for 11, I'll look at the clock and I'll be like, oh, it's 10:50. It's almost 11:11. And I'll look at the clock again, and then it's 10:45. I mean,
why you set an alarm for 11:09?
Okay, well okay. You know what? Actually, I want to also include. I want to also include that you are also allowed to set alarms, because if you, except for if you set an alarm for 11:11, I feel like that defeats the purpose. But like if you but you have to catch it, right? You have to catch 11:11.
Okay, so it has to be like a generic setting,
right?
Without...
With that being said,
okay.
I think you can set an alarm for 11:09, because I think it would still serve our purposes here. Because you're gonna set an alarm for 11:09, you're like, all right, I'm gonna catch 11:11. Oh fuck, it's 11:15.
That's fair.
So I am down with the thickness there. River Styx's 11:11 wish was universal healthcare. That's a good one. My 11:11 wish every single time that 11:11 rolls around is that somebody else's 11:11 wish will come true. Like doubling down on it, right? Like I don't know who. I don't really ever say a name for another person. I just say, I hope somebody else's 11:11 wish comes true. I feel like I'm pretty blessed in my life with the people that I know and the friends that I have and the things that I have and you know where I'm at just overall for how old I am. And I don't really need a lot. It was not that for a long time. For a long time I spent my 11:11 wishes hoping for a love from a specific person to be reciprocated. But then I realized one day I don't want love that is forced from a wish, right? I want somebody to, I want to have a kind of love where somebody wants to love me, not because some mystical voodoo from the fucking universe says, hey, sorry, but you gotta love this person. Also, if we're following the magic rules of Aladdin, you can't make somebody love you, right? With magic, so.
Well, I mean, isn't love the magic to begin with?
I would say type of, yeah. I think that's a good observation. But also kind of sad if you think about it that way, because it fades sometimes fast.
I mean, nobody wants to stay around and watch a talent show with magicians for long, like more than a couple hours. So
speak for yourself, Silver Smoke. Speak for yourself. I would love that. I fucking love magic, bro. Mainly because I spend the whole fucking time figuring out how the fuck did they did that. And magic is really good for my ADHD brain, because while they're building up and doing all their showsmanship for their upcoming joke, I spend all my time thinking about the logistics of their previous joke and how they might have actually accomplished that. So I find myself quite entertained at magic shows. I don't know about anybody else.
I mean, they're fun. I just wouldn't want to spend like 30 years at a magic show.
That's fair. Hey, did you ever, so in Southern Colorado growing up, there was always this group of traveling powerlifters that would go from church to church and rip phone books in half and do a bunch of other strongman things while they were talking about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Have you ever been to one of those shows?
Not necessarily one talking about like Jesus and stuff, but we did have like guys who would like wear harnesses and stuff and pull like semi trucks. When in California when I was a kid. That was around the same time we did like the jump rope for heart stuff.
See, I've never done any of that shit. So yeah, so in Colorado, jump rope for heart, we're coming back to that. So in Southern Colorado, they had this, what was it called? Fuck, it was such a cheesy name too, but it was like, it fit. Let me think. The Power Team. I think it was called the Power Team. And it was just a bunch of jacked motherfuckers that would go around Southern Colorado, church to church, and then they would just do a bunch of strongman stuff. So they would rip phone books in half, but they would do it at the spine, right? Like, and then eventually you're like, oh, I could rip a phone book in half at the spine. Like anybody could rip a phone book in half at the spine. And then one day somebody told them that and then did it. So then they started ripping them off from the side, right? And you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, they would explode soda cans in their fucking hands, which is notoriously difficult to do. They would, my favorite was when they would break like 10 to 15 bricks just with their faces. They would like punch through boards, and they would just do like this look how strong we are because of the power that we got from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And that would also be a sermon at the same time, so they're like talking to you about not going to hell while they're clearly coked like, up smashing things.
Love God, get superpowers.
Yeah, basically, bro. And it was quite interesting. As a kid, it was entertaining just to watch people break shit, and I loved it. But now as an adult, I'm like, I would be so bored. Why did our parents do this? Maybe that's why we didn't go every single time. Oh, you know what? They would break baseball bats, and then they would throw them.
Like,
they
would it be at the base, like where it's all thin?
Sometimes, yeah, it would be right where it starts to taper off. It would be where they broke it. They're just like. Now, the really cool ones were where they took like 4 baseball bats and then they would like break the 4 baseball bats. That was pretty cool. But then they would throw them into the crowd. People would just like catch random baseball bats, or if they couldn't catch, they would catch it with their fucking face. That was the funniest I've ever seen. There was one time where they were at a church. I don't remember which church. But they were at a church and they threw the baseball bats into the crowd, and this lady just got fucking nailed right in the head with one of the thick ends of a baseball bat. Bam. And you know, when I found out Christianity was dead, which was when this entire church full of Christians laughed in her fucking face immediately. And like, don't get me wrong, it was hilarious. And I'm thinking, and she was fine. Right, but you would think that we would all make sure she was fine before we laughed in her fucking face. Because she did, man. She got hit with a head, and she full on Costco trying to get a refund plated up where it like fell on the ground and ow, ow, ow. And people were just fucking dying, bro. And I'm like, is she okay? And then you can see she's okay. And then I started chuckling. I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny. She got hit in the face by by a baseball bat thrown by a coked up Christian power lifter. But, yeah, I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe this whole Christianity thing's a ruse. That's gonna be a whole ass other episode, I think.
I'd be happy to be on that one.
Yeah, how Christianity is a ruse.
Yes.
Did you also grow up being told that as long as you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and fully believe with your heart that He died for your sins and your sins only, that you would go to heaven no matter what?
Actually, no. My family was very, this is what I believe, but do whatever you want. Like, didn't make us go to church, never, like, they didn't even go to church. So, like, they were very open with letting us choose what we wanted and not trying to pressure us into doing other things. So I was actually really thankful for that. That's why I think that would be a subject I really enjoy.
Okay. That's true. I didn't get that choice. I got literally the opposite of that choice, which was, we will disown you if you do not believe in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I would actually wager to say most of my biological family at this point is still really, really Christian. Like, so much so that they, like, not good Christian either, right? Like the Christians that you worry about when, like, you're coming out to your family during Pride Month, or you're wearing that saucy outfit to the mall, or whatever the case may be that would cause a person to hope for acceptance from a stranger, is not something that you should expect from that side. Which is kind of a bummer, but it, like, I'd be interested to see if I'm the only person who grew up with like a weird takeaway from it, because I loved the messages of kindness and acceptance from Christianity. I just didn't see a lot of practical applications or use of those messages from Christians, which was always confusing to me growing up. You know what I mean? That was my biggest problem, is specifically cherry picking, because like cherry picking from especially devout people is really, really prevalent. I want to do this thing and I want other people to do this thing, but this thing, it inconveniences me, so that's not really a thing. That's an interpretation thing. Which I know as an adult, right? I mean, but if you tell a kid, let's see, I probably broke the shackles of religious indoctrination around or 14, 15, I would say. And even then it was purely outside factors. And it was purely being shown that people can still exhibit those traits that I loved about Christianity without being Christian.
Yep.
And specifically, it was actual applications of those kindnesses instead of just talking about them, which I didn't really know the difference of, because growing up, I was told we need to be these ways, this kind, this accepting, and then shown meager examples of what that looked like through the narrow lens of those religious people, right? Like, we accept these kinds of people. These are the kinds of people that deserve your acceptance. Anybody else is just a hellion and does not deserve it. And then I met a person or a group of people specifically that showed me that those values should apply to everyone, to every person, not the cherry-picked, like you said, version of what Christians think is accepted. And then I was like, holy shit. maybe those guys suck. Flutter Biatch, welcome. I love the name to Biatch. Definitely got censored by the capital T man there, didn't you? I don't think I'm alone. Yeah, I know that you of all people definitely have a lot of parallels there. TikToks, Tumblr posts, such. I'm surprised I haven't seen the TikToks. It doesn't surprise me about Tumblr. I try to stay away from Tumblr. Such a socialist children of Christians, and how shocked. Yeah, but I don't understand why that was supposed to be that face. I was like, wow, how'd you even get it to be blank? I don't think I can even send blank messages. Yeah, it doesn't even let me send blank messages. Jesus was a message of your loving your neighbor, giving the poor, feeding strangers, right? But then they never did that, right? Like, sure, we did soup kitchens, and sure, like, you know, if there was I don't know. I've got a whole thing on that.
Yeah, community service isn't necessarily like being a good moral person.
Right. Well, you know, and, you know, not to drag on too much about religion, because that's not necessarily the episode today, but I think I already have a theology episode on the, hey, so like I have the episode list that y'all see that y'all can go and sign up for. And then I have monday.com, hashtag not sponsored, but I have this checklist, this task list of every time I have an idea for an episode, I'll go put it on that list, and it's fucking huge. It's got like 300 different topics on it because, you know, thanks ADHD. But every time my brain was like, gets onto a tangent about something in my head, or specifically where I have more questions or something that I'm like, wow, I really wish I could talk to another person who blank, boom, talk show idea.
Oh yeah.
So I think I'm going to keep doing them like a month, maybe 6 to 8 weeks in advance, because it gives me time to add more and then like prioritize a little bit differently. You know what I mean? Which is fun. But well, cool. Let's get to it. Today's episode, for those of you who are just joining us in our little pre-smoke / wait for everybody to join us / now that I'm sufficiently stony baloney. Are you sufficiently stony baloney?
Absolutely.
Cool. Our topic today is going to be about Kyudo. I think I'm saying that right. I think that maybe that's probably the first thing that we should do. Figure out how the fuck to say it correctly. Let's see here.
To Google.
Translate. For those of you who don't know, Google translates specifically as, wait, why don't I think let's just type in Kyudo, and then we'll do Japanese. But you know what? I bet you I could do this. Check this out. We're gonna go ahead and do it from Japanese to English, because I wonder what that means if there's a translation. To Italian. Good to know that it's Kyudo in Italian too. Pretty sure that's one of those things that comes all the way across. It just means Kyudo. So let's see how Google says we should say this word.
Kyudo.
Kyudo. So the lines above the top of the O and the U are meant to symbolize extending that vowel. That's good to know.
Kyudo.
So I'm going to continue to say it like I was saying it just with the emphasis on those 2 syllables. That's pretty interesting. I don't know if you probably can't hear that, Smoke, because
yeah, no.
But if you were interested, you can go to Google Translate and copy and paste it. I'll go ahead and put it in chat so you can copy and paste it. And there's like a little speaker at the bottom that will.
Kyudo.
They say Kyudo. So anyway, that's interesting. So Kyudo is the Japanese martial art of archery. So says the very first entry on Google. I'm pretty sure that that's coming from the Wikipedia. For those of you who have never heard of it before, it got onto my radar through obvious channels, and I've heard a lot about it. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, and I've seen vague references to it in other versions of pop culture, but I've never sat down to learn what it was. Much like our first episode, this episode is going to be a exploratory research episode. It's going to be me asking a lot of questions into the abyss and researching those questions with you, the archers. Silver Smoke is here to help me, as he is a person who has a passion of archery as well, also a big fan. So it's kind of a common ground for us. We talk about it pretty frequently. I imagine that Silver Smoke, please correct me if I'm wrong, is also here to learn about Kyudo and
absolutely,
and kind of what it is. So here are kind of some images of it. This one in the middle, this pink one, does a really great job of illustrating how much goes into it just with so few words. The reason why the Instagram post that I have says the art of archery is because Kyudo is just as much about its form and handling of the bow in terms of scoring. I assume this is an assumption, which I should write down, as it is the actual accuracy of the weapon. The crazy thing with that blew my mind about Kyudo specifically was the fact that the bow is very specifically, to use the word twice in a row, asymmetrical.
Yeah.
So let's put this down here. What was the question I had? Kyudo is about form just as much as it is accuracy. So what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else also, is writing down all of the preconceived notions that I had about Kyudo through the things that I, like I said, saw in pop cultures. If you dressed up in scrubs and other medical attire as a band, the name Pop Cultures is kind of gross. I also think that Kyudo, to just digress like nothing ever happened, and I talked about somebody about this off stream last night. I think Kyudo was invented by the samurai. I think. I don't know. That's what we're going to find out today. But I thought that it was horseback riding for the longest time. Horseback riding and archery.
Isn't that what like Mongols were more famous for? Was the horseback riding?
Yeah, exactly.
Archery?
It 100% was. What should be another episode, I think. I'm gonna write that down. There's this dude on Instagram named Action Chris, at Action Chris. If y'all have never seen them before, it's an incredibly entertaining Instagram, especially if you're stoned. This person, I don't know, because I haven't done that much research into it, what their job is, but from what I think their job is, from what I've seen of their Instagram, I think that they get paid to do cool stunt shit. So like he'll show movie people how to fight. and train people how to like do sword sequences, and then they'll get hooked up to cables and do a bunch of fancy sword shit. But the one thing that Action Chris does on Instagram that I really enjoy is horseback archery. The dude is insane at horseback archery. He loads and draws the bow crazy fast. For the longest time I thought to myself, why are they using a thumb draw? That's like pretty well known amongst like you were saying, Mongolian horseback archery. And then I saw the video and I was like, oh, it's because you absolutely fucking need to shoot with your thumb if you're going to just draw. Like it's where archery began, with drawing from the quiver and putting it straight onto the bow. Turns out that solving the problem of crossing the plane with the string with your fingers does not make it any easier to load a bow quickly. And it's just like a whole ass other form of archery. But to digress a little bit, Kyudo is very ancient, right? We have really old pictures here, and we have also very modern pictures here. And then like we have pictures of their competition lineup where look, everybody who's an archer is just fucking chilling while people are shooting. It's bare bow archery, even so that there's not any knock points on the string. From what I can tell, it's kind of hard to tell with the glove, and there's not a rest on the bow. They're resting off their fingers, which the rest plays a huge part in the physics of an arrow, like a huge part in the physics of the arrow. So this is yet another failure point for the human body, which just kind of goes back into form. So those are kind of my preconceived notions of Kyudo, specifically that it was just as much about form as it is accuracy in terms of scoring, and it was invented by the samurai. How about you, Silver Smoke? What have you heard of Kyudo?
The only thing I've really like heard of, because I specifically tried not to delve into the topic before our talk show so we could have this, was that they used like the Yumi bow, that is the like you said, the asymmetrical bow, and the follow through where they like flick forward with their wrists to help like basically slingshot the arrow further, which sounds really neat, but I have no idea. I haven't even really watched any of the competitions. It's the first time I've ever even seen pictures of competitions like this.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like we're starting on similar terms with not knowing shit about the topic, which is pretty good. Obviously I would have it either other way. I don't care if it's you're an expert and you're here to teach me, or you know nothing and we learn together, right? I think both serve the purposes here in terms of being both entertaining and educational. So we found here a video of what looks like modern equipment. So it looks like it goes all the way into the outfit in terms of the standards of Kyudo, which we can see in every other picture as well. Everybody is similarly uniformed, but you mentioned that the bow is called the Yumi, which looks like, just assuming by the average white guy, to be like 6 foot 4 inches tall, strung. Which is crazy town.
Yeah, like to think about using that like in outside of like Kyudo, and actually using it in combat, you must have been stationed somewhere specifically, because that thing is not big or is too big to like lay on your back or to use anything else.
Yeah, that thing's fucking huge.
This must have been like their artillery, because imagine how far you could shoot this thing.
Right, and well, imagine how goddamn beefy you got to be to draw that thing all the way back to, like, stacking. I wonder if stacking comes into play when it comes to Kyudo. Do you know what stacking is?
I don't.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what stacking is the exponential increase of bow poundage past a certain draw length. So every single bow has a threshold that is its quote-unquote maximum draw. That doesn't mean it can't be drawn past that point. It is, after all, physics. But once you draw the bow past that point, exponentially the weight of that bow increases from what it's set to be at. So if I have so when you see a bow, for instance, this one here in front of me says 35 pounds at 60 inches. 60? That feels wrong. 30 inches. If you draw the bow more than 30 inches back, so if a person who has a draw length of more than 30 inches, which is pretty common, 30 inches is like pretty average for draw lengths, It's not about the size of the draw length. It's, anyway, everybody who goes more than 30 inches backwards is going to have a higher than 35-pound weight, which, if you didn't apply this already, has serious implications for amped guard. Because you have people out there with 35 at 28-inch bows who have 30-inch wingspans who are fucking cracking people with 45 pounds full of weight. But it's hard to enforce that because unless it's actually stated on the bow, which in a lot of instances for LARP archery, at least a lot of the bows that come out there aren't, right? You just kind of got to take the person's word for it, or draw it with a bow scale. It's kind of hard to know exactly what that looks like. Unless people are complaining, hey, that guy hit me too hard. So anyway, the point is stacking is the exponential increase of weight past the bow's intended draw length. A lot of people think that, hey, this bow says 30 inches. If I go more 31 inches, this bow is going to snap in my face. Maybe. No. I mean, maybe, right? It's not 31 inches. You can draw it to the point where it will snap when you release it because the force of energy that's coming out of that release does not stop when the arrow leaves the bow, but it's usually a lot more than a few inches past the draw.
Yeah, they build it in to where there's some give room because they're not going to give you something that volatile.
Well, I think it's an unintended consequence. I don't know that much about bow making, to be honest. Maybe that's another episode. And I already know who I would have on that show. But to bring it back a little bit, I clearly it is something that's built into the Yumi when it comes to Kyudo. Clearly that draw, maybe that has a lot to do with why it's asymmetrical. Why don't we dig in and find out? Oh, so let me put that down on the questions to be answered here. So far for questions to be answered, we have why. Hold on, why? Let me write this down. Oh, you already have that up there. Okay, so why? I want to know if it is just about form as much as it is accuracy. I want to know where it came from. You mentioned that they used the Yumi, the asymmetrical bow. We can build a question out of this. Why? Why is the bow asymmetrical? What about stacking? I'll put next to that. And then you mentioned that we think that the follow through with the wrist is a technique that they use. We want to know why. That is also something I can maybe answer for you because in traditional Olympic recurve archery, they do the same thing. They break the wrist when they fire the bow, but it is very specifically not. It's to have a zero impact on the arrow with your bow hand when you release the arrow. The bow falling is a result of them not grabbing the bow. When you're drawing the bow in Olympic recurve, you're actually supposed to be holding it at a U. You're not supposed to wrap your hand around the handle. You're supposed to let the tension of the bowstring, hold the bow to your hand when you're firing, and you're not supposed to grab it. Because if you grab it, then the accuracy of the arrow is going to be impacted by your bow hand. Whereas if it's just sitting on your hand, there's the chances of that actually happening are far smaller. So when they release the bow, they don't grab the bow because physics. Instead, usually just a bow strap will let it swing. Oh my God, your dog is so fucking cute. They'll have like a bow strap on their wrist where when they let it go, the bow will just swing down, and then when it swings down, they'll kind of grab it. You'll see a lot of archers, especially if you watch competition, who will fire their bow and then grab it as it goes down and then break their wrist, or who will hold it ever so slightly with the sides of their hands, and then when they fire, they will break their wrist. But what those archers have trained themselves to do is to make sure that the impulses from their arms stop at their wrists and don't impact their hands. And they've done that by completely closing off access to the hand as a function. So when they release the bow, the weight of the bow pulls their hand down, right? Like the best way I can explain it is hold your hands out straight in a T. And then now relax your wrists. Did your hands go limp?
Yes.
Do you look like it's like you're just gonna run around like an airplane chasing kids?
Wow! It looks very fitting for Easter.
Oh, got him. Damn, bro. That one's gonna piss off the Christians. I love it. With your permission, I'm putting that on TikTok. Or you can put it on TikTok. Shit. What? Why are you whining? You watch your mouth. Dad's on TV. Can't you see that? Okay, I'll give you pets. So that action that you felt where your wrist was just breaking, that now imagine if you had your wrist where it was just broken like that, and then you put a bow in it and you drew the bow, it would pull your wrist back, right? But like you're still not having any. Like this is me with the wrist up, but the wrist is down. But if I had a bow and I was bringing the bow back, I'll just use my elbow. It would pull the wrist back. So that and it's really hard to train yourself to keep, like it takes mental focus to keep your wrist limp while you draw and fire a bow, because the impulse that you have when something's falling out of your hand is to fucking grab it, right? So I don't know if Kyudo specifically operates the same way. Just from looking at these pictures here, I'm very, very curious and suspect that you might be onto something, that it serves a different purpose here, because they push their whole wrist out, like you were saying, and
they like point with their bow.
Right, but I don't know if it's to like get the bow the fuck out of the way, like we're talking about, or if it does serve an actual function on the arrow. So, there was a video here, Kyudo, Hidden Techniques. I know that we're watching somebody else's content on stream, but we'll give them credit. It is by White Belt here. Also, it's educational, so I don't know, man. I'm just gonna let Twitch do whatever they want, and I'm gonna be reactive to Twitch here. Did you see that display? All right, we don't really care. You can't hear this, right?
I'm listening to it on my own.
Oh, okay, cool.
Competitors draw their bows, attempting to strike a 36-centimeter
and so,
wide target.
Something I do know about Yumi's, it is a traditional bamboo layered bow.
Okay.
So they're all bamboo bows, at least. Is the string on the other side of his wrist?
I don't know. I paused it. Let's play. Oh man, you can tell that motherfucker's heavy too.
Wait for it. There's a dude who shoots, and then I think the string ends up on the other side. Yeah.
Kyudo is one of Japan's most revered and widely
it like whips in their hand.
So it like rotates
to the other side,
all the way around. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Its distinct characteristics set it apart from other sports.
So they're allowing that pivot point, like you were talking about.
Hold on, give me a second. Let me rewind it so everybody else see what we're talking about here. Okay, so everybody watch the bowstring here. It's on the other side. It's on the other side of his arm. So when this person fired the bow rotated 360 degrees in their hand.
Kyudo is one of Japan's most revered and widely
wow, that's crazy.
Interesting. Okay, what were you gonna say now?
It's just like he's using his hand as the pivot point that you're talking about, but he's closing off his fingers and just allowing the bow to spin.
Yeah, that is really cool. I would think that would be dangerous, right? Let's see here. Look at this pause. Look at this pause point too, bro. This is almost like the beginning of my Apex Legends TikTok. That was so hard to cut out a single frame where it was just me opening my fucking eyes. I just left it up because lesson learned. But the thumbnail for that TikTok is hilarious. It's me going like this.
Set it apart from other sports like judo and karate, however.
Wow, holy shit, that was a good kick.
Rather than facing an opponent, in Kyudo, archers face only a target.
So it is specifically a competitive martial art.
As frequently as possible, shots are simply recorded as on or off target, regardless of whether they strike the middle or the edge.
Wow, did you hear? Okay, so shots are considered on or off target. The scoring is yes, you hit the fucking round thing. No, you did not hit the fucking round thing. It has nothing to do with accuracy. So for those of you who don't know, I'm just going to call the archery that I do Western archery. Although that does feel a little racist, doesn't it? Olympic archery and Olympic recurve. Well, but it's all other forms of archery that I know about, excluding horseback archery. Every single, so I don't know. In modernized archery, we'll say it that way, the shooting is scored by numbers. By let me see if y'all can. I don't know if the camera's plugged in. It's not. The competition targets for archery have numbers associated with each ring, 10 through 7, I think, or 6, depending on if it's got the blue ring or not. And so, wait, hold on. 6, yes. So like your score depends on how close to the center of the target that you get. And so it sounds like in Kyudo, it only matters if you hit the fucking round thing. But the round thing does seem pretty far away and pretty small.
The nature of the sport also means the archer's psychological state has a fundamental impact.
Oh, come on! Good God!
In which you
I wonder how hard that string slaps the back of your wrist.
Yeah, that's a good question. This game actually doesn't look that bad. What's it called? Oh,
you do.
Okay.
Practitioners of Kyudo believe the arrow will always find its target if the archer's body, mind, and technique all come together as one.
Okay. I want to write that down because it was moving.
Will always find its target if the archer's
what they said was
state has a fundamental impact. Practitioners of Kyudo believe the arrow will always find its target if the archer's body, mind, and technique.
Okay, so practitioners of Kyudo believe that the arrow will always find its mark as long as criteria are met that I forgot because of ADHD.
Practitioners of Kyudo believe the arrow will always find its target if the archer's body, mind, and technique all come together as one.
Wow. Okay, so it's
that means it's the same as saying like I'll always hit the bullseye if I do everything I need to hit the bullseye
correctly. Yeah. Wait, what? You just said
darkness. Takeo Ishikawa, one of Japan's leading traditional archers, or Kyudoka, fires his arrow into the darkness.
Fires his arrow into the darkness. As an immediate example. I can still see the target. Damn, and he hit it too.
Incredibly, he can
hit it dead center, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck?
When you first begin, it's okay to simply enjoy seeing if you can hit the target.
That's wow,
people
money.
Start out like that. But as you progress, spiritual training becomes essential, so you're no longer trying to hit the target, but rather releasing an arrow that.
But I wonder how his accuracy
wait, 1 second. Okay, that's okay. I'll rewind it. You said you wonder how his accuracy changes in relation to what?
Like, say a target was on a hill.
Well, right, but I think that would be like distance based, right? So I think
same distance, just like. But what I'm saying is like he's teed off, right, to do his form. Is he good enough to change his form to alter the angle of which he's shooting?
I mean, well,
so even if
I think that the term form includes the ability to be able to adapt.
Okay.
You think, right? Like it includes the ability to like adjust based on what the target is. Torgas said that somebody in a black suit ran over and stuck an arrow in the target. That would be so fucking funny, dude. So something I wanted to point out real quick, and we'll rewind it here so y'all can hear what he was talking about there, because we started talking kind of before they got to the point. But what Takeo, hold on, they just showed his name. I gotta write it down. Oh yeah, it is Takeo. Okay, so what Takeo here was saying was, that's my Mexican coming through trying to say Japanese words. Ishikawa. What Takeo Ishikawa is saying is that when you start Kyudo to begin with, it's okay if you start just to see if you can hit the target. That's awesome, which most other archers is the whole purpose. But what Takeo was saying was that at a certain point, it's not about hitting the target anymore. At a certain point, it's about releasing an arrow. And I don't know if he has said that yet. I'm implying here because I've read a book called The Archer by an author whose name I've forgotten, which is a bit embarrassing to be honest, because it's a big author. But I read a book called The Archer, and it was all about how you can use an arrow in archery as a representation of negative energy in your life, I guess, is just a really broad way to put it. A lot of the point of meditating is to acknowledge thoughts that come to your mind, but also specifically to operate with the intention to have a mind that's in the present. So when those thoughts come into your mind, which for those of us with ADHD understand that it's a bit of an onslaught, that we send them along their way just as fast as they came. We acknowledge it and then let it go. And what Takeo is saying here, I think, is that, and I'm implying just the small words that I've heard so far, is that Kyudo specifically is a representation of meditation of releasing negative energy and bad thoughts physically with an arrow, which we all know I can get behind. And to be honest, I do. So let's see here.
When you first begin, it's okay to simply
Okay,
enjoy
so it says
seeing
it's
if you
okay
can
to
hit
see if
the
you can hit the target.
Many people start out like that. But as you progress, spiritual training becomes essential, so you're no longer trying to hit the target.
So he said spiritual training becomes essential because you're no longer trying to hit the target,
Rather releasing an arrow that will naturally find the target.
So he says you're releasing an arrow that will naturally find the target.
Only on strength won't let you progress.
And then he said relying on just your strength won't let you progress. So they didn't really allude to any, but he said spiritual training as well. So I think that's what led me to the conclusion that I have there. Because why would you need spiritual training if that was not like ultimately the goal? You know what I mean? What do you think? What do you think about the spirituality mixed in there? Silver Smoke?
I mean, it just depends on the person, really. If you want to call it spirituality, you want to call it centering yourself in the cosmos, whatever, you really can name it whatever you'd like, so long as it becomes the outlet for, like you said, the negative or the aggression. Then it's already been a proven thing that having an aggression outlet or an art outlet helps with those purposes. Same way that going to church can also help with those, if that's what you're personally into. So I don't know about the spiritual belief of this type of thing, but I mean, if it works for him, then it works for him.
When you say spirit, I feel like we got a bit hung up on the spiritual part of that. What is your definition of spirituality? Without looking at my stream, because
I don't really have a definition of spirituality, because I don't really think that it has a definition, because it changes from person to person.
I see. Okay, that does explain it. So it doesn't actually. Spirituality, you know how the definition of emotions don't change from person to person? Like we all have emotional needs, or physicality, for example. Spirituality is the same thing. I think that you're 100% right that it's interpreted in specific ways, specifically in relation to religion and the expression of oneself. But spirituality is the pillar, as is emotions and physicality, in terms of being concerned with the human spirit or soul or consciousness specifically, right? So your consciousness, as it relates to things that are not your emotions, for example. So like, for instance, when you come over and we eat mushroom pizza and we talk about like the cosmos and what's going on in terms of us being in like a simulation, or, like just eggs for baby gods, or cells of a larger brain, or all of these theories of creation or existence or why. These are all spiritual talks. That's all spiritual because it has everything to do with a human's consciousness and purpose and why, without having to do with their emotions or their physicality. So like, you're 100% right that spirituality is also tied to religion a lot of times for obvious reasons based on what its context is, right? But it's not necessarily limited to those confines. In fact, quite often we engage in spiritual talks. So when I think that when Takeo is saying spirituality, I don't think that, and I could be wrong because obviously traditional Japanese men are all very like spiritual in terms of religion too, oftentimes, from what I know. But so I could be wrong, but I believe that when he said spiritual training, he just means the awareness of one's self and one's presence of mind in relation to their surroundings. Because a lot of spirituality is, who am I? What am I?
Right. But that's the reason why I hyper focused on the fact that it was like a religious sense, because the Japanese culture have their own terms for things like that with meditation and Zen, and so they have like defining terms for what you're talking about, like centering yourself and using a medium to do it. That's why I kind of like focused in on like the actual spiritual, like of like religion type of thing.
Sure. Well, and it has its own parallels. Okay, so as long as we're all on the same page about what Takeo meant about spirituality there, but yeah, meditation and the power of Zen, like you were saying, and specifically this culture does have a lot of power, kind of like River 6 was saying in chat too. There's a lot of cool shit you can do, a lot of really life-changing things you can do with presence of mind.
Deep and sophisticated techniques.
Let's get back to it here. You're right, man. The bow does rotate in their hand every time. That's crazy talk.
We take a closer look at some of Kyudo's secrets.
And they do grip the bow the whole time, but they can't be gripping it that tight if it spins around in your hand,
I'm here at the Shiseikan.
Yeah, it's like open.
For traditional Japanese archery, or Kyudo, located in the grounds of the famous Meiji Shrine in central Tokyo. Even as archers fire their arrows, the reverential atmosphere makes clear this is a sacred
Beautiful places to shoot.
No shit. And she was just saying that, even though it's an archery range, like it's just as much an archery range as it is a spiritual place, like we were talking about.
Surrounded by the stillness of the
But
shrine
you're right,
grounds,
so beautiful.
Masao Iijima draws his bow.
Look at the draw too. That's an interesting draw.
Watching Kyudo up close for the first time, I was amazed by the size of the bow and speed.
This was made in 2018, and they're social distancing. I wonder why. I wonder if that's
for the first time, I was
cultural
amazed
thing.
by the size of the bow and speed of the arrow.
Standard Japanese bow
So-
is 2 meters.
One sec,
20
one sec, one sec.
I'm
Let me pause.
bad at the metric.
Are
You're
you? How far ahead of us are you?
341.
Okay, because you're talking about distance and shit. And we have no idea what you're talking about. So
My bad.
meters in length.
let's catch up a little bit.
And the arrow flies at a speed of about 180 to 200 kilometers an hour.
Okay, so now we're where you are, 200 kilometers an hour. So what were you gonna Google? Go ahead.
I'm just bad with conversions. Like, what's the average speed of like a traditional like Olympic recurve?
It's about. Actually, why don't we do it this way? Mine's about 200 feet per second. So 200 kilometers, 2 feet per second is 90. Wait. So it's about the same as an Olympic recurve in terms of feet per second. About 200 feet per second.
Okay, so comparable.
Yeah, I would say very, very similar. Yeah. Jupiter, good to see you, my friend. Let's get back to the video
Japanese
here.
bows are the longest in the world, and as a result, you need to pull back further than with any other bow.
Okay. Let's see here. We're going to go into the bow a little bit, which is cool.
Japanese bows are the longest in the world.
Japanese bows are the longest in the world.
Made
Called the
using
Yumi,
a combination of bamboo and Japanese wax tree.
Okay,
They
bamboo and
range
Japanese
between
wax tree, like you were
212
saying.
and 233 centimeters in length. Over half a meter longer than the bows
Jesus
typically
Christ.
used in modern competitive
That's
archery.
a big bow.
That's a
Well,
big
that's
bow.
pretty cool. Wow.
Yeah, no. So they said it was 1 to 1.5 meters longer than. So for those of you who don't know I have one of the bigger Olympic recurves is 25. I have a 25-inch riser with large limbs, which comes out to about 70 inches of bow, about 6 feet of bow. And they're saying that the Yumi is 1.5 meters, which is 4.5 feet taller. So it's a 10.5 feet tall, the bow.
So why
For
do
those
Kyudo
of
use
us
such long and
filthy
unwieldy
imperialists.
If you have a short bow, but you draw it back the same distance, then the stress on each part of the bow
He's talking
will
about stacking.
actually be greater the shorter it is. And this means it will break more easily. In order to prevent bows from breaking, if you keep making them longer, you can reduce the stress on each individual part when the bow is drawn. So, the main objective of making the bow longer is to ensure it doesn't break.
Okay, so they're saying that the reason why the bow is so long for them is to make sure that it doesn't break. Which is interesting. I guess what they're trying to say is they want a high poundage of bow without having a high chance of it also breaking, which is pretty interesting.
Bows are not equipped with
What's
aids
the average weight of a Yumi?
I don't know. They haven't said yet. But we'll look it up. We'll give them a chance to see if they say it, and then we'll look it up.
sights or stabilizers.
Oh, you mean like draw poundage?
Yeah.
If I had to guess based on the feet per second, I would say 50 to 60 pounds. But maybe they'll tell us. And if they don't, we'll look it up. See, did you see his wrist break there?
Instead, the Kyudoka is required to sight the target with their eyes only and stabilize the bow and arrow with nothing but their own technique.
Wow. And I'm seeing some archers shooting off of the right side of the bow.
Strikes the target,
Kyudoka
they never celebrate.
are
as
shooting.
showing outward signs of emotion is believed to reflect poor mental control.
Interesting. So I've seen Kyudoka shoot on the left side of the bow and the right side of the bow. What they just said is that when you hit the target, you're not allowed, or you're not supposed to celebrate. You're not supposed to feel anything because it is a reflection of poor mental control, which, as we're learning, Kyudo is very much so about mental control. Thanks, net neutrality.
Another unique characteristic of
you had an
Kyudo
ad,
is
I
where
did
the
not.
bow is held.
Now we're going to talk about how it's
In
held.
modern archery and in most other forms around the world, the
See how
bow
his
held in
hand
the
is
middle.
not wrapped around.
So it
his-
is modern. It is modern archery.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
In Japan, however, for over 2,000 years,
2,000
bows have
years.
been held about a third of the way up from the bottom.
So they're talking about why we hold it, why Kyudoka hold the bow asymmetrically.
So why are Japanese bows held closer to the bottom like this? Let's look at what happens when the bow is held in the middle.
Please put an arrow on that. Please put an arrow on that. Please put an arrow on that.
This is much easier. This is much easier. I don't need much power.
As the bow can be drawn easily, this means the bowstring will also rebound weakly, giving the arrow little force.
Okay, so they're doing it for power reasons.
This changes greatly when
in terms
the
of
grip is
why they
moved
hold
to
their
a third
hand
of the way up from the bottom.
so far down the bow. Oh yeah, she's having a tough time. No. Put an arrow on it. Put an arrow on it.
Drawing the bow is much harder when holding in this lower position, which in turn means more force is transferred to the arrow.
That's true. Oh, she's got a thunder grip on that thing. Okay, good. I'm not that worried about it anymore.
Holding the bow in this position also reduces vibration through the hand.
So they're saying it also reduces vibration through the hand to hold it that low.
To see the difference, we compared both positions. Starting
Oh,
with
they're
a look
shooting
at
both?
what happens
That
when
was
the
really
bow is held
cool.
incorrectly
Which part?
in the
Are you
middle.
ahead of us again?
Oh, just no, I was right there on that
Oh, okay.
with the orange background.
Yeah.
Because they slow-moed the bow rotating in his
Oh,
hand.
yeah. I fucking think that's so fucking cool. So this dude's shooting from the middle of the bow. In the same. Struggled a little bit there.
The vibration through your hand is exceptionally strong in this position. Nearly enough to make you drop the bow.
Okay. So you get a lot more vibration.
We used a vibrometer to measure the
Ooh, a
vibration.
vibrometer. You think that sex toy labs have
To ensure
vibrometers?
an accurate reading, we secured all equipment firmly
Maybe.
in place and compared
The good
force
ones
of
anyway.
vibration
I
after
feel like that
drawing
would
the
be like a
bowstring by
staple
just
for
10
sex toy
centimeters.
companies. Like, how do you measure how good
First,
your
we
sex
measured
toy
with the
is
grip in the
if
middle,
you don't have a
where the
vibrometer?
vibration is greater.
Customer feedback.
It's objective.
It's
The
always going to be
waveform
subjective.
graph is converted
Not if you have
into
a
reading of
vibrometer, baby.
975.
I hate that they're dry firing this bow, even if
We
it's
then
for science.
repeated the experiment with the bow held a third of the way
They're
up
only
from the
kind of
bottom.
drawing the bow, so I'm only kind of annoyed,
The
but
reading
still,
now
holy
is
shit.
just 571, showing the vibration has virtually been halved.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So why does holding the bow
like that they
lower
said
down
virtually.
produce less vibration?
Now we're getting into the physics. I love it.
Drawing the bow naturally produces vibration. However, 1/3 of the way up from the bottom.
For those of you who didn't know, this is interesting to me because vibration is considered one of the fundamental pillars of existence. Energy, frequency, and vibration, according to Nikola Tesla. I think I'm right with those three. So the fact that specifically Kyudo, but the Yumi and the Kyudo-ka, I think it was called, are they've taken this fundamental force of nature that modern archery is apparently just compensated for in other ways in terms of different bow grips, different bowstrings, the invention of the recurve bow. They've adjusted all of the different things about archery to bend the weapon to their will to make sure that they can handle the weapon. The Japanese in Kyudo just moved their fucking hand.
A sweet spot
That
where the
I mean,
waves
that
cross.
sounds really smart.
And as a
Instead of
result,
trying to reinvent the wheel, they're just like, why don't I just hold it down here?
Exactly. It's amazing.
it keeps relatively still.
Vibration occurs when the bowstring returns on release of the arrow.
He had a hard
orange
time
line
rotating it
shows
in his hand there
vibration
too.
along the bow, and you can see that a third of the way up from the bottom is a point where the vibrations are relatively still.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
point.
that's
This is known
neat.
as
Yeah.
a node, and in Kyudo, it's where archers hold the bow.
So I'd like to point out that they said that archers have held, in Kyudo specifically, have held the bow here for 2,000 years. That means for 2,000 years, 2,000 years ago, the person who, or people, or whoever decided that this is the way that the Yumi needs to be held, already had a fundamental understanding of the wave of vibration. Either I'm not saying like clearly they had the same diagram that we do, but they fucking might have, right? Like,
Well, so something that I also want to throw out there is the presence of a low grip on the focal point implies the existence of a high grip for a focal point. So you could technically do this from a high grip too if you wanted to stand on some stairs.
I was gonna say, yeah, or you're 10 feet fucking tall, right? Well, but if you look at the bow, it's a bit asymmetrical, right? So I don't know if you could shelf an arrow up there.
Well, they're shelving the arrow off of their hands and fingers, like they're using their forefinger as like their arrow rest.
Right, but what I mean, I don't know if the arrow would fire. Like maybe if you held this upside down, you're right, that you probably could do that. Because I think that the distance from the bow string to the bow would cause issues. But I get what you're saying, because like the wave is right there. It's the same right there, just like it is on the bottom, you know?
Yeah.
That's a good point. At least based on this.
Holding
I
at
wonder if
node
the shape changes that
reduces
at all.
vibration. So, in terms of physics, this really is an excellent way of firing a bow and arrow.
That's so fucking cool.
In the past,
oh, here we go.
bows and arrows were used in warfare. Between the 13th and 16th centuries, a period of wars and social instability, bows were developed to provide archers with more power.
God damn it!
The #1 real-time
What's happening?
voice changer for gamers.
I
and
downloaded
content
this.
creators.
For those of you who are curious, I downloaded this voice mod app that they're talking about. It's really fucking cool, but it's not compatible with the most recent Windows update. It caused me to blue screen.
In those
every
days,
15
only
minutes.
high-ranking officials were allowed to ride horses, so a powerful bow and arrow that could strike from a distance was the best way of achieving what was then considered the great honor of felling a high-rank opponent. Horseback archery techniques, or yabusame, are also still practiced in Japan.
So, this is what I was thinking originally too, because I've seen.
Gotcha.
So I've seen. Okay, so there is called yabusame when we're talking about horseback archery. Looks like they're still using.
Yabusame requires a rider to take both hands off the reins of a galloping horse in order to
it's
shoot
still
their bow and arrow.
still the Yumi.
Yeah. There, everybody's cheering
the
too.
Toshiya, an archery festival held every January in Kyoto, serves.
We're going, if we can, if outsiders are welcome.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to go to Japan. If we just happen to do it around this time,
No, it not be just happen. I would 100% make that an intentional thing if we're invited.
Toshiya, an archery festival.
Yeah, no,
held
I
every
would
January
absolutely love to.
Every January.
In Kyoto.
All right, I'm 100% going to that one day.
Serves to keep another ancient tradition alive. The long-distance tournament uses.
I wonder if you could
targets
enter.
60 meters away.
I don't know. Maybe I have seen a couple of white guys in here. So they're shooting 60 meters.
Though in the past, the full 121-meter
Holy
length of the temple
fuck.
veranda was used.
They're saying in the past, 100. What did they say? 121 meters? What the fuck?
The past, the full 100.
Yeah, that dude on the ground is like. Does he have
veranda.
it? Does he have the base of the bow touching the ground?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And uses targets 60 meters away.
I can't tell because his body's in the way. Damn it.
The full
No, but it's close.
121-meter length of the temple veranda was used.
Yeah, he doesn't, but he does when he's drawing
Japan's
it.
leading archers gather for the festival, and countless arrows are fired day and night.
Oh my god, I got chills. I have to go sometime. Even if it's just to watch, I'd be happy to observe.
To shoot accurately over long distances, the arrow used is also important. Kyudo stores sell
This is
a
my
wide
kind of
selection
store.
of arrows with various different characteristics.
Oh, that's crazy.
Modern arrows can
Right?
be made from a range
That's
of
so many
materials,
arrows.
including
So many
bamboo,
arrows.
aluminum, and carbon fiber. But it is the bamboo arrows made with traditional techniques that are actually said to fly most true.
Imagine that.
People now typically use carbon fiber arrows for practice, but switch to bamboo on important occasions like examinations or tournaments.
Oh, cool. So they.
When making
wow.
an arrow, it's important for the shaft to be as straight as possible. The bamboo is first softened through heating and then straightened using a special tool.
I want to see the special. Oh, check that shit out, dude. Holy shit. That means they make every one of these arrows by hand.
A blade is used to shave the surface to ensure the entire shaft is
I always
of
thought
even
that
thickness. It's then
the
sprinkled
art
with
of like
sand and
fletching
polished
was really
using a-
cool.
Yeah, I can't. I first learned about fletching in RuneScape, old school RuneScape, because it was a skill. And then I did. It wasn't until later in life that I realized like it's its own whole ass other thing, right? Like separate from archery. It's crazy. And this
ensure
dude's
the
making all of
entire
these by
shaft
hand.
is of even
Yeah,
thickness,
the type
which
of
then
like feathers you use down to the what you used as the shaft, the
Yeah.
tip,
Everything. It's nuts. And so then they shave it and then they
sprinkled with sand and polished using a
polish it with
grindstone.
sand and rocks. Very phallic for those
The
of you
final
who also
step
have
is to
dirty
attach
minds.
the
Yeah.
fletching.
working the shaft, man.
3 feathers are attached to the arrow, evenly spaced.
Look at those scissors, bro.
And once the length of the fletching is adjusted, they are bound in place and the arrow is complete.
Wow.
An arrow's fletching has a huge impact on how straight it flies.
That I did know.
Kyudo arrows have 3 pieces of
That's some
fletching
crazy artisan
rotated
quality.
It totally is. I was
as they
just thinking
fly,
about how it would be
which
awesome to
increases
have
stability and keeps them going straight.
a set of handmade
This is
bamboo
Kyle.
arrows. I don't
He
give
invented
a
one wheel.
fuck about Kyle or his
To
one wheel.
destroy boredom.
Like, it's pretty
Turns
cool,
out
to
he
be
wasn't
honest.
alone.
How does the
I mean,
flight
all
path
right.
of an arrow
I'll bite.
differ when it's fired with or without fletching?
Oh, okay, so they're gonna go into the
First,
what
let's
it
take
looks
a
like
look
when
at
it
a
flies
normal
without
arrow
fletching.
with the fletching attached.
I wonder if it counts if it bounces
Now,
off the ground.
here's an arrow without fletching.
I guess it did say just hitting the target.
The difference is very clear.
Yeah, the difference is really.
Without fletching, the
It just
arrow
went
can't
bloop.
reach its target and falls short, sticking into the ground.
It also sounds like it's not working with the bow so well.
No matter how many times the arrow is fired, the result is always the same.
Well, more or less, yeah.
When the arrow rotates, it flies true, adjusting itself as it moves towards the target.
Ow. That's
The number of
snap
rotation-
sound when he shot it.
Yeah, that's the archer's paradox there. Why did that stop in the fucking middle? It's just over now. All right. Well, I guess it's just over now. Let's see if there's a part 2 here. Kyudo. Oh, look, it just says a little 1 next to it. Let's just. Oh, baby, look at us go.
Depends on the arrow.
Woo!
But it's usually
That's
somewhere
research,
between 3 and
baby.
10.
I thought this was going to be 14 minutes, but it's going to
The
be 30
fletching
minutes
has a
of
smooth
Kyudo,
front
and I don't care. I'm
surface
learning
and a
so
rough
much here.
Back surface, producing a difference in
I
air
don't know
resistance
which
that
video you
results
went
in
to.
rotation.
I'll link it to you. That's on Googling, bro. That's the Google foo right there. For those of you who are following along, including you, Smoke, I put it. Do you have chat up?
I do.
Okay, I linked it to you there in chat. Yeah, Jupiter says I only get half of the hidden secrets. That's not true. It would have been if I had not used my Google foo here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and.
Air pressure decreases over the smooth front
We're looking at
surface
the aerodynamics
and
here.
increases over the rough back surface, causing the arrow to rotate as the fletching is pulled towards the low pressure side.
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool.
The arrow's design reflects the wisdom
That
of
guy's bow didn't
generations
rotate.
past, who discovered ways
Oh,
of
he just stopped it
increasing
halfway.
accuracy even before the arrival of modern scientific theory.
Yeah, blows my fucking mind. 2,000 years. That thing demolished that fucking target. Holy shit. There's 8 stages of shooting. Okay, hold on. We're writing this down.
In addition
8
to
stages
arrow
of
design,
shooting.
technique is of course key to hitting the target.
So this
In
is
Kyudo,
what I
archers
was
are
talking
required
about.
to follow
Will
the
you fucking
prescribed
pause, bro?
8-step
For fuck's sake. This is what we were talking about earlier, that Kyudo is also just as much about form as it is accuracy. So what they were just saying while I was having a pause fit there was that
In Kyudo, archers are required to follow the prescribed 8-step firing technique, known in Japanese as the Shaho Hasetsu.
wow, holy shit. This is fun.
To follow the
Who would have known that
prescribed
research would be fun
8-step
if it was something I gave a fuck about? Well, you know, the shitty thing is that they tried to get us to do this in school. They're trying to, like, we don't care what sometimes obviously they gave us, like, go tell us about global warming or some shit. But they tried to be like, hey, I don't care what you write about, just write me 10 fucking pages. And then you're just like, I have to do this thing. I don't want to fucking do this thing. And now if someone's like, hey, could you write a report on Kyudo? I'd be like, yeah, I'll be fucking all over it. You know, give me a week or whatever. So what they're saying required, what did they once say? God damn it. Type fast enough for this. Okay, so they're saying that you are required to
In
follow
Kyudo,
these 8
archers are
steps.
required to follow the prescribed 8-step firing technique, known in Japanese as the Shaho Hasetsu.
That's awesome.
The Shaho Hasetsu are the 8 stages of firing an arrow.
I wonder what their
If you
targets are
go
made
through
out of.
these 8 steps
They're what?
I wonder what their targets are made out of.
Yeah, me too. If I had to guess, just based on common themes, I would say bamboo.
Yeah, because but those arrows
This just goes right through.
and like they had like a dirt mound behind it, and it went in that a good 3-4 inches.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just like a bamboo round frame with just like paper in the middle. You think?
Oh, that's fair.
Because I don't know, maybe. Well, it could be.
Then
it's hard to tell.
Demonstrate correct technique, but also ensure good mental preparation.
The Shaho Hasetsu are a series of actions designed to improve focus and concentration. If performed perfectly, then the arrow should naturally find its way to the target. The first step is to
boy, we're writing this down. We're gonna be pausing this movie or the movie. We're gonna be pausing this show a lot in the coming steps, everybody. So step 1, Ashibumi footing. Let's see how they pronounce it. Oh, motherfucker. Just fucking clicked it.
14-16.
We're not at 14-16.
Oh shit, my bad. 149.
I clicked on 153 by the thumbnails, so we were close.
The first step is to properly plant both feet
Ashibumi.
in the correct position.
I'm not going to tell you how to pronounce it. Thanks.
You should be directly in front of the target with your feet angled at around 60 degrees.
Directly in front of the target.
Angled at 60 degrees.
Feet angled at 60 degrees. Maybe that's why the dog was whining. The cat is really fucking with him and he's just trying to have a nap.
The distance between your feet needs to be half of your height.
Oh wow, distance?
Next,
between
the archer
feet
stands upright and stabilizes their torso.
Distance between feet is half of your height. The cat was fucking with it was very cute. Anyway. Okay. So then the second step is called Dozukuri. Forming torso. I really wish Alt Tab and space worked here.
They then confirm the target, breathe deeply, and prepare mentally for the shot.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Step 3 is called Yugame. Pronunciation subjective for me, because I don't know what it is. They won't tell me. And I'm not going to go look that up. So they said that
Yugame.
This one, steadying the mind, confirming the target, and
Uchiyo Koshi is the next one.
Now the archer lifts both arms.
Wow, okay. So like it's okay. And then Uchiyo. Raising the bow. Think you'll go right above your head.
Before gradually drawing the bow.
Then you have to gradually draw the bow. That's its own step. Ikiwake. Looks right. Drawing apart. Slowly. Steady. This is cool.
At full draw, there's a brief pause,
full draw,
a moment of intense concentration
brief
before
pause,
the arrow is finally
intense concentration. Anare.
Even after releasing the arrow, the archer must remain alert and maintain correct posture.
Remaining spirit.
Stop! Did you know every
That's
time
cool.
you shop on Amazon, you're helping someone make passive income?
I did know that, yeah.
Yes, you could be helping someone like me, a dude in my 20s.
Wow.
The most challenging
They're gonna
part
go
of
into the
Shaga
wrist
Hasetsu
mechanics.
is said to be the moment of release, which in Japanese is known as hanare.
Hanare.
At the moment of release, the left wrist turns slightly
This
outwards.
is so fucking cool.
Outwards.
The area at the base of the thumb is called the tsunomi, and this part must act as a pivot to prevent the bowstring from hitting the archer's hand.
Oh wow, so it's actually
The most
not
crucial
supposed to hit
skill
your
in
wrist.
Kyudo is to make sure you properly use the tsunomi, as this has a major effect on whether you will hit the target.
Interesting.
The movement of the tsunomi as you fire the arrow also allows the bow to be drawn closer to the body. This helps to keep the arrow stable, resulting in a powerful, well-controlled shot.
Oh, she looks like she's gonna grab her ear on that one. Ooh.
If you fire the arrow skillfully, it will fly comparatively straight, but even then there will be a slight wobble.
That's the Archer's
With poor
Paradox.
technique, however, the arrow won't stabilize in time and will wobble throughout its flight, preventing it from flying true. If you release the arrow properly, it will wobble at first, but after 10 meters or so, this will subside as the arrow then flies smoothly towards the target.
That's fucking cool. But I want to see
The time it
what
takes for
the
this
difference that they're
wobbling to
doing.
subside has a major impact on how often arrows hit the target.
Damn, that's cool. Yeah, me too, Alicia.
The movement of the right hand is also key in determining the wobble.
Okay, so it's about both
You use
hands.
the thumb of the right hand to hook
Wow,
the
their
bowstring,
thumb draws.
which must be drawn and released smoothly. Even the slightest wavering or extra movement as you release the right hand leads to further wobbling of the arrow. So this is why the mental aspect of the release is so important.
Okay, so that's probably why the hanade is the hardest part, because you're thinking about what both of your hands are doing, and you're trying to make sure that
The
both of your
archer is
hands are doing the
focused too
exact same
heavily
fucking
on
thing.
winning or hitting the target. This disturbance in their psychological state affects the smoothness of the release.
Interesting. God damn it, bro. I feel like it's every 10 fucking seconds. What is happening?
It's for this reason that mental control
You keep
is
getting
seen as
ads.
central
I
to the
don't.
sport.
It's like they know we're on TV right now.
Of course, there's a distinct moment of release. At that instant, you need to make sure you're not obsessed with the target, but that in your mind, you can still feel the target calling out to your arrow. Senior instructors can pause at that point for 5 or 10 seconds and be completely still. The
That
rest
doesn't
of
look
us start
completely
get
still to me, I'll be
impatient
honest with y'all.
and try to hit the target after just 3 or 4 seconds. It's easy to lose the battle of wills and let go too early.
If you draw the bow and release the arrow correctly, then you will always find the target.
Interesting.
To make sure you don't miss the target, what you need is mental strength. In Japanese archery, we say that a true shot never misses, and it's when the body and mind become one that our arrow naturally flows from the bow.
Oh, here we go. I like that.
At the All Japan.
So they're saying that as long as I sort of hate how fast I forget
Flows
things.
from the bow.
At the All
God damn it.
Japan Kyudo Taikai,
Kyudo
performing under
Taikai.
pressure
And mind become one. It is mental strength. In Japanese archery, we say that a true shot never misses.
A
and
true
it's
shot
when
never
the body
misses.
and mind become one that our arrow naturally flows from the bow.
So they're saying
At
that
the
a true
All
shot
Japan Kyudo Taikai,
is when the body and the mind
performing
become
under pressure
one.
becomes a great test of nerve. Under the competition rules, it doesn't matter whether the arrow hits the edge of the target or the center. A strike is simply a strike.
See, so so this is what we were talking about when we started
In
the
the
show.
qualifying round, archers fire 2 arrows, but only those who hit the target both times progress to the next stage of the competition.
You have to hit the target both times out of 2 arrows, or you're out.
One of the top categories at this year's tournament was won by Masaaki Tosa.
Masa Akitosa. Wow, he fucking nailed that thing. It's not just paper. It took him a second to draw that out.
The final was contested between 6 archers.
They're all in sync too. Oh, the targets get smaller and smaller, it looks like. Maybe?
All the other archers have missed the target.
No, those look like the same size.
If he can find the target, he will have won the tournament.
Look how still he is. Holy
You got this, Tosa.
shit, he hit it. Wow.
Tosa
And
was
it's fucking
unfazed by the
everybody
pressure,
else
not
just
only
fucking,
striking
oh
the
my
target,
god,
but
dude.
shooting right through the bullseye.
And then just walks off like a fucking badass, like they're talking about. They don't celebrate. It's a testament of mental focus.
Did you know everyone else had
He looks mad.
Mental focus.
Yes, I did. But I don't worry about that at all.
Wow, he said, did you know that everybody else missed?
Even if my
But I don't
opponents
care.
miss, my job remains the same.
It doesn't change what I do at all.
The only question for me is how I handle my own bow. Releasing the arrow naturally is what is best, but it's truly a challenge. I will
Let's
keep
see
on
how his
reaching for that
other wrist
ideal
rotates.
until the day I die.
As a result of quieting all
Jesus.
stray thoughts and focusing intensely,
He was so
Tosa
still.
unites his body and mind to allow for a natural
I wonder
release.
if in his mind he was jumping up and
At the
down.
end of Japan's warring states
Yeah.
period,
I would have been.
the
Just
bow
a
and arrow
giddy
ceased to be
schoolgirl
a
like,
weapon of
yeah,
war.
Especially,
I hate the
yeah,
thing.
especially
Even
after
though it was
seeing
no
where
longer
his
used
shot
in
landed,
battle,
dude.
Samurai continued to fire
I
their
still do
bows
it
and
now.
arrows
Like,
every day.
even though it's relatively
They used the
easy,
art
every
to
time I
train
get
themselves
a
to
fucking
eliminate
10, I lose my
insincerity,
shit.
Fear and doubt
Maybe
from
it's a
their
me
hearts.
problem. Although I will say,
When you
oh, we'll
miss
talk
the
about that
target,
after.
You have to reflect on what went wrong. And that is why Japanese archery has evolved.
I want to
become a
rewind
form
that
of
because I think it's a good life lesson.
fire their bows and arrows every day. Warring states period, the bow and arrow ceased to be a weapon of war. However, even though it was no longer used in battle, samurai continued to fire their bows and arrows every day. They used
So
the
he's
art
saying
to train
even when we progress to guns as humans, the samurai still fired their bow every single day.
themselves to eliminate insincerity, fear, and doubt from their hearts.
Sounds like,
Like a
as a
meditation.
right.
When you miss the target, you have to reflect on what went
Because when you
wrong.
miss the target, you have to
And
reflect.
that is why Japanese archery has evolved to become a form of spiritual training.
And that's why Kyudo has evolved to
Even
be
in
a
complete
form of
darkness, when all the elements
spiritual
come together,
training.
the arrow will find its target.
God
Knife
damn it.
defense is packed with the dumbest techniques in all
You know
of
what the
martial
dumbest
arts.
technique is?
The
Putting
vast
ads in the
majority-
middle of YouTube videos. Fuck you, FCC. Dead center, dude. Well, the fucking lights are off. I don't know, man. I'm still thinking Torgos onto something.
Kyudo, putting the phrase "a true shot never misses" into practice can truly become a lifetime's
Is it
work.
cultural appropriation if I get a tattoo that says a true shot never misses?
I think so.
Bummer.
In Kyudo, unlike many sports where the battle is against an opponent, the real challenge is self-mastery and not being swayed by thoughts or emotions.
Okay, so I think the overarching highlight of what the presenter there was trying to tell us is that even though, like we speculated at the beginning of the show, that accuracy is a part of Kyudo, it's actually more about the alignment of one's inner self,
While
which is pretty fucking
outwardly
cool.
It may appear simple, it's the internal or spiritual
Who's got the
depth
mental
of
grind
Kyudo that
to-
draws so many
to do the
people
thing.
practice
Right.
the art.
I didn't
We
hear anything
conclude
about them
today's
scoring
show
that
by
part though, right?
Introducing a sports nutritionist who's
Well,
currently
that part
using their
comes from
decades of
being able to hit your
experience to
target.
support
Yeah, I guess
athletes
that's true, yeah.
aiming to reach the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics.
Every para-athlete
I think
faces their own
now
unique
that
set
they're,
of
I think that's the
challenges
outro.
depending on their different 2 years for
Yeah, it's just the
para-athlete,
outro.
20 years.
Okay.
Hoping
Cool. Well, that was fucking crazy cool. So we have a lot of takeaways there. Thanks everybody for watching 30 minutes worth of somebody else's video with me. But I figure if they're gonna go ahead and put all the hard work into compiling all of the information that we wanted into an easily digestible and visual, because I'm very much so a visual learner format, then I'm gonna take advantage. I would be kind of foolish not to. And I'm not so proud with my stream that I'm not going to recognize somebody else's awesome hard work by just avoiding it. If Twitch has a problem with it, they can email me. But now, so what do you think? How do you feel that video did in terms of kind of explaining some of the questions that we had?
Oh man, it broke down literally. Besides maybe how like an actual event is scored. Like you were saying, they didn't really talk about whether or not they score anything, or if it's just like who hits the shots and who doesn't. They literally broke down everything from physics of the bows, physics of the stances,
arrows,
everything.
Yeah. Well, so let's see if we can find that answer then. How the competitions are scored here. Let's see. Okay, so it says that it's often viewed as an avenue towards self-improvement. There are competitions or tournaments. The archer. Okay, so it says these tournaments often involve Kyodoka, as we know, which is archer, from all ranks, and we know now because of that video. And then it says including high school, college, and adult schools. It's usually held with a great deal more ceremony. In addition to the Hasetsu, do we have that written down? Do you know what that is? Yeah, it's the 8 stages.
Oh, gotcha.
The Shaho Hatsetsu is the 8 stages. The archer must also perform an elaborate entering procedure where the archer will join up to 4 other archers. That's why we saw them walking in as groups of 4. When it said there's 8 archers left, they walked in groups of 4. The bow to the adjudicators. I don't know what that fucking means. Step up to the back line known as the Hanza. Then kneel in a form of sitting known as the Kiza. The archers then bow to the Mato and kneeling between each shot until they have exhausted their supplies of arrows. Normally it's 4 arrows. In the competitions, they shoot 4 arrows in 2 sets, placing 1 pair of arrows at their feet and retaining the second at the ready. Shoots the... Okay. So then once you shot, they shoot. Nope, doesn't really tell us how it's scored here, huh? I guess we can probably look it up. Let's see here. Let's see if it's in here at all yet. It's not. Okay, so let's do... let's Google it. How are Kyudo competitions scored? It didn't. Oh, here, just gave us the same Wikipedia page, which is pretty fucking funny. So it says rules and equipment. So you have to do so basically what this is saying is that you are scored on how you perform the Hasetsu and the 8 steps, and if you hit the target or not. That's it. So how you did all 8 steps. So you are measured, you are scored on your ability to perform the 8 steps, as well as whether or not you can hit the target, which is pretty fucking cool.
It's like any form of like performance, like athletics, just like gymnastics. How well you did your gymnastics, as well as did you stick the landing.
Well said. Perfect. Yeah, I think so too. That's a really good metaphor, or a really good parallel too. 100%. One of the things I really want to point out here is that all Kyudo archers hold the bow in their left hand and draw the string with their right. All of them. Any problems with that?
Right hand, left-handed people?
What about left-handed people? Left-handed. So that's saying that if you're a left-handed person who does Kyudo, I would say that would make the mental part of that even harder, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, because you're having to go against how your body naturally wants to,
right,
like do the thing. Dang.
Oh, look, it says
do they just not have left-handed? Oh, go ahead.
No, you first. Do they not just have?
Did they just not have left-handed people in Japan?
I don't know if we can draw that parallel from what we've been talking about today, but they don't have left-handed archers in Kyudo.
They just don't allow it?
They just don't allow it. If you're a left-handed person, you just shoot right-handed, or you don't shoot at all.
Fair.
Wow. I would say, honestly, I would say that gives you an unfair advantage if you get to the top of your game, because you're already overcoming so much difficulty mentally that the rest of it should just be fucking easy, right? Theoretically.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just have an extra layer on there, and I can understand from a scorer standpoint and from a tradition standpoint, and they're very big on tradition. Like, this is how we've been shooting, and this is how we've been doing this for 2,000 plus years. Like, this is how we're going to continue scoring and shooting.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's absolutely crazy. They said that if you don't, and here's the other thing too, if you do it improperly, it can hear your face or your ear, like we were worried about earlier. I know I saw it hit that girl's ear when we were watching earlier. That looks fucking painful too. So that blows my mind that all of them shoot right-handed. Every single one of them shoot right-handed. And now that I think about it, when we're watching all 30 minutes of that video, I didn't see a single fucking person shoot left-handed.
Yeah,
not one.
It was all
have you ever shot a bow with your left hand?
No. My left hand has always been my focal point to hold.
I have, and it's fucking hard. I just mean opposite, right? Holding it with your right hand, shooting with your left hand. It's fucking hard. It's so fucking hard. I can only imagine. So they abso-fucking-lutely need to shoot right-handed. That absolutely flabbergasts me.
Well, then again, if you're a person who does this sport and you've been practicing and doing this sport more than likely for a long time, you've just been indoctrinated into shooting it right-handed.
Sure, I'm sure that's true. But I'm saying, like, that person who did get to the point where, you know, that's all they know is shooting right-handed. They didn't know you could shoot left-handed. But think about how much more of an obstacle it was for that person to get into the sport because they're not right-handed. I wonder if, you know what? Let's look up left-handed Kyudo. Check this shit out. Life as an outlier, Kyudo. I bet you this is about having... Oh, look, there's a Reddit thread. We know everything on Reddit. We should check that out. Oh, here we go. Left-handers in Japan, this sketchy website says. This person asked March 4th, 2005, is Japan a right-handed oriented society? The reason I asked is because he couldn't find any left-handed Kyudo gloves. As he said that it seems like all the samurai were right-handed and tough if you're left-handed, suck it up. Let's see what people let's see what people answered here. So this person spoke with a good measure of confidence here and seems to be thought out. Right-handedness has been regarded as correct in Japanese culture. So even when they're writing, it just assumes that they're going to be using their right hand. Dishes with the right hand. Lefties are not considered bad nowadays, are regarded an advantage in sports such as baseball. Taught to use the pencil. So this person is Japanese, left-handed, but was taught to use the pencil and chopsticks with the right hand at my husband's insistence. So it is 100% a Japanese culture thing that right-handedness is more prominent even if you are left-handed. So if you're left-handed, it just makes you ambidextrous.
Yeah, it's just their society is literally breeding ambidextrous people.
Right. So I mean, so on one hand, it looks awfully exclusive of folks who are left-handed, and honestly, like, to be bluntly, it is exclusive of left-handed folks. But this is an ultimate testament to through the fire and flames kind of ideology of, you know, sure, you're left-handed and your life is going to be a little bit harder for a little bit, like as a kid growing up, but like inevitably it's going to give you an advantage. So I don't know, honestly, for my personal feelings, I'm on the middle of the fence on this one. You know what I mean? Because like it does come with a pretty hefty advantage once it gets down, but also like imagine the stress that person has to go through while they're going through that Like, do the ends justify the means here? You know, who knows? We're talking about a culture who also understood the physiology of the wave and vibrations 2,000 years ago. So it's hard to say.
I mean, for people who are that adverse to using their right-handedness, if they are left-handed, they probably aren't going to compete in Kyudo.
Fair. Or do whatever.
They'll probably play baseball.
Yeah, good example. So it looks like the general consensus here is that if you're left-handed, you either get good scrub or you pick a different sport.
Yeah.
When the arrow is pointing at the target it's supposed to, remember to have way of seeing this person's going into some pretty minute detail here. Okay, so look, this person right here is Japanese and does do Kyudo, and says the hitting the target is very much so the point. We do focus on the process leading up to the shot, like we were saying. So it's choreographed. So they're basically saying the exact same thing that we were saying, where if you are left-handed, suck it up. Let's see here. So this person has a whole blog about how, just skimming through it here, a lot of folks are left-handed and grow up having to overcome a lot of these challenges. She was one of those people. And basically the same thing that you said. Now this person's ambidextrous and can operate with both hands, and has many advantages. So that's pretty fucking cool. Awesome, dude. I feel like we've kind of crushed the topic here. Like,
yeah.
I honestly have no further questions. If anything, now, you know what? I do have another question. One more question. It's a very important question. I need to find it here.
How much does a Yumi cost?
Are white people invited to Toshiya? Oh wait, no, is that not the name of I wrote that down wrong? Why don't we just Google what we wrote down? Yo. It looks like there aren't many great matches.
Just type in Japanese archery festival.
Okay, that's a good idea. Invited to Japanese. I spelled that wrong. That's a fucking hard word. How do you spell it? Japanese? Is there two S's? Fuck. Yeah. I'll let autocorrect handle it. Archery festival in Kyoto. I see you later, Alicia. Thanks for stopping by.
See you, Alicia. Love you.
Yabusame. No, that's horseback archery as we know now. Archery. Oh, here we go. Nope. Bush Clover Festival was held. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll see calendar of events in Japan. And then we'll do... Oh, here we go. January. Where's January? January. Hello. Okay, here we go. Ball Catching Festival, Parade, a Coming of Age Day, Candy Fair, Kyoto. Oh, here we go. That's because I spelled it wrong. Toshiya. Shiya. And it's an archery contest held in... Holy shit, that's a long-ass name. We're going to replace that with the correct spelling. We're going to write down this because I need that for my future travel itinerary. The Sunday closest to January 15th. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? Okay, now we can probably Google it. Oh, here we go, I think. Oh, okay, an event held as... we will read about the history. This is pretty interesting. We know about the tools records. Okay, so if I'm not seeing anything blatantly that says, white people, you've done enough damage to the world, you're not welcome to Toshiya, I'd be like, oh, fuck, damn it. It wouldn't surprise me, but I'd be really happy to not see anything like that. Because they're like, for instance, if you are Foreign to Japan, if you don't live in Japan, not just if you're white, but if you're foreign to Japan, you can't use a lot of the businesses in Japan. This is kind of a sheepish thing, but the first one that comes to mind is a lot of the brothels in Japan you can't use if you're not Japanese.
Okay.
Open to non-Japanese folks. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that says. I figured if we Google it this way, they'll tell you, "Hey, you're not allowed to come." Not. Oh, can non? Oh wait, no. Yeah, I think I'm welcome to go here. Let's see here.
I think it might be the difference between being allowed to go to the festival and being able to participate.
Oh, that's a good idea. Can non-Japanese people compete at? There we go. Why Japanese don't like foreigners is the very first. That's fucking. It doesn't really tell us here. Let's see here. Who can compete in Toshiya? Each year, 2,000 archers from all over Japan. So I guess maybe you have to be.
Okay. There's probably like qualifier tournaments and stuff like that, and
that's probably
prefectures that you like compete under.
Yeah. Let's see here. Here's a website. Oh, here we go. Look, it's apparently an actual Kyoto attraction, but they call it by the name of the temple archery contest. Let's see here. How to get there? You can just go. The contest, you can still find the marks of old arrows. That's pretty cool, man. So wait, what's it say? Rows of young women clad in bright kimono are the highlight of the archery contest. So it's like a very big opening ceremony thing. You can apparently go. It's apparently not that fucking hard to go to the contest, which makes me feel way better because I do want to at least watch it, even if I can't be in it. You know what I mean? Although I don't. You know what? This is a question we can actually end the show on. This question because it's relative. Or it's relative here. Somebody once asked me, I think I saw it in a TikTok on deep questions to ask somebody that you're just getting to know for dating purposes because it gives you insight into their personality. But I took it a step further. I feel like it's a good way to get insight to a lot of people's personality, so I hijacked it. And one of the question was, what would you do with your time if you were immortal?
Oh, that's fair. Oh man, I don't know. I guess I would hone a craft.
Which? And don't say Kyudo just to wiggle out of this one.
No.
So while you're thinking, my answer to this question is two-part. First one is I would find and master every possible iteration of archery. And Kyudo was definitely on the list. But I think that this is one of those things that can take a lifetime to master.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would ever compete in that tournament because I feel like I'm already A, behind the curve, and B, I'm already well ingrained into shooting a different kind of competition archery. But if I had another lifetime, you bet your fucking ass that I would 100% dedicate a lot of it to Kyudo. I absolutely adore not only how it's focused on not hitting the target, but making sure that your body and your mind is in balance, but also specifically, it's focused on if you miss something, it's cause for reflection and adjustment.
Ooh, I actually know exactly what it'd be.
Okay.
Mine would be free diving.
You would just free dive the oceans and shit? So,
yep.
Go ahead.
Oh, just like building, because there's a lot of like science that goes into like deep free divers and like how you equalize the pressure in your ears and keep yourself from passing out. I think it'd be really cool to be able to dive like 30, 40 feet and stay down there for 4 or 5 minutes before having to come back up and just cycling air. I think that'd be really cool. Just be able to like go anywhere locally in the ocean and just hang out.
That would be really fucking cool. Well, and think about it this way, in the context of a question for those of you who are just joining us, we're wrapping up today's show with a deep introspection question, which was, what would you do with your time if you were immortal? Mine was master all forms of archery, including the topic of today's discussion, which was the Japanese martial art of Kyudo, which is so much more than just shooting a weird-looking bow at a target. Silver Smokes here. So in the context of this question, how cool would it be if, as part of being an immortal, you weren't limited to human constraints, meaning you didn't need to breathe? You just
at that point,
you just live in the ocean. You just wouldn't leave the ocean. Although you didn't have dark vision, so you'd have to figure out how to see while you were in the ocean, right? Which would be and you'd still like, what if you're still subject to being like fatigued, so you couldn't just like swim around? But like, if you didn't have to worry about drowning, the ocean becomes a much cooler and scarier place.
Well, I mean, the ocean in of itself, you wouldn't really have to worry about fatigue per se, because I would definitely put flippers on, like some type of like propulsion system for myself.
Oh, right. Well, because at the end of the day, you don't have fins unless you make yourself fins.
And if I wanna rest, just
hold
hands
still
back and just you're
chill
in the water.
Yeah, that would be cool. I honestly think that answer fits you perfectly, knowing what I know about you and the things that you like and enjoy, and that's really fucking cool. Especially because, like, with how big the ocean is, you could spend a long fucking time just chilling and exploring and finding new things.
Absolutely, and especially if you're not, like, if you don't get hurt from like pressure, and everything.
Yeah,
like because you can even find things bioluminescent that can handle the pressure, so you can still explore.
True.
Like, and if you can't take damage, then why not find some bioluminescent fish and like use it as a lamp?
You're right, like they do in Donkey Kong, which, by the way, all of the old Donkey Kongs for NES and SNES are available to be downloaded on the Switch. Blew my fucking mind. That just reminds me, because in Donkey Kong Country 2, you actually grab the tail of an anglerfish and it leads you around in like a dark underwater. You can only see where the anglerfish is, and you're like underwater in a ship, which sets my claustrophobia off, let me tell you. But so I to digress a little bit, I think that it would be really fucking awesome to spend eternity going and learning different variations of archery, but especially in terms of iterations such as Kyudo that are so much more than just shooting an arrow at a target. I feel like I would want to spend at least one lifetime mastering this art, especially because I feel like with where I've come in my spiritual journey and how difficult it was to get here, and how many outside factors I needed, whether or not that was intense therapy or psychedelics. It took outside factors, and it sounds like Kyudo was a very much so vessel towards spirituality and towards alignment and towards one's effort toward building emotional and mental agility and the ability to overcome obstacles and to look at mistakes as opportunities or obstacles as opportunities instead of being detrimental to us. Because we all know that there are people out there, when they encounter an obstacle, that just shuts them down, or they use this obstacle as an excuse to hold themselves to other vices such as complacency, or, you know what I mean, in my case, like you know what I mean, a variety of other different things, but instead it's used as a tool to overcome. And I think that that's really fucking gorgeous, but I feel like I can't get into this right now. If not ever, I can't. This is not something I can make a part of my life in a big way, because I don't have the time to do that. And you know what I mean? Now, that being said, there are ideologies that I'm going to take from Kyudo. And I already have before I even knew about Kyudo. When I shoot for y'all every day, when I shoot, it is an expression in meditation and self-awareness and mindfulness of my current present surroundings and being in the here and the now. Before I release the arrow, I very specifically don't draw the bow until I begin a deep breath, and I don't release the bow until I've released that deep breath 100% of the time. Literally thousands of arrows a week. That's how that works. But also, ever since I read that book, The Archer, which I need to find so I can recommend for you guys, a really good friend of mine reached out to me randomly, and they're like, I think you would really love this book. Where the fuck I put it? That's the problem. Oh, you know what? I know where it is. I devoured this book, and then I kept going around with it. Like, I keep it in my daily bag because I reference it. It's the same person who wrote another really popular book called The Alchemist that a lot of people recommend as like a self-help book. But it's called The Archer. I'm going to type that in chat for y'all. I think there's a free audiobook, or it's a free audiobook on Audible where you can buy it, the hardback, like I did, for $7. It will get delivered to your house if you live in the Denver area in about 6 hours, which scared the shit out of me. And basically, the book is very much so the same thing. And now that I look at the book and think about the book, a lot of the book had to do with Kyudo, right? And a lot of it did reference how Kyudo is used as a meditation, and it's kind of what really inspired this deeper interest in Kyudo overall. But they only go over the overarching terms of being, like I said, present and mindful and in the moment, and using the arrow as a representation of fleeting thoughts, even negative thoughts, and then the adjustments that we make as archers to hit the target as representations of small adjustments that we make in our life to improve relative to our goals, right? So for instance, if my life goal is to make people smile wherever I go and leave the world better than I found it, then the small adjustments that I would make are relative to that goal, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was just really, really fucking cool. I think that, and it's not a long book either. I think it's like 121 pages. Let me look. 100 and oh my god, bro, tell me. No way. No way. ADHD serves me again, bro. You know, I talk shit about it all the time, but check this shit out, okay? This is the outro page. It's just a person putting a bow down and walking away from it. So that means this is the last page. Can you see the number? Oh, you can't. It's 121. It is literally exactly 121 pages. I can't believe I remembered that. It kind of blows my mind. So it's but all of the pages are pretty short too, right? Like it's a paragraph per page, just as an example. And some of them are just like images and art. So they're just anecdotes. It's a very quick read. And as a person who also enjoys archery, in your case, I think that you would really enjoy it. Just based on a lot of the spiritual talks that we've had and stuff too. But everybody, if you've found an interest in how archery relates to self-improvement and meditation, take a look at that book. It's free as an audiobook, I think. So, all right, well, cool. We didn't really draw a conclusion today because this was more of an educational episode, right? But I think that we can still put as a conclusion, I will see you in Kyoto in January. Because clearly, you know, you said you want to go. If I go specifically to this archery tournament, you're going with me.
Yeah, no, I will absolutely 100% go. I've been looking for a reason to go to Japan. There's so many things I want to do in Japan. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe you just plan like a month there, and then one of those weeks that you're there for your month is going to be this week, and I'll just join you out there for that week as part of your big ass trip to Japan. Because this is like, Japan is an amazing place. I think it's so cool. I follow a lot of TikTokers who live and work in Japan, and like I really I think that there's a lot of really cool things about Japan, but for the most part, it's in the same category as most other things in my life, which is it's a thing I know about that's cool, right? And that's as far as that ends for me. But that's there. You have a lot of other outside influences that I don't. Specifically, like the biggest one that comes to mind is anime, right? Like I just recently got into anime, and I don't know that much, but I can see the more and more that I watch anime, because I'm still on the train, the more and more I can see why people who love anime also love Japan, because like the representation of Japan through anime does make it seem like a really wonderful place.
Well, my main reason for wanting to go is I have such a deep love and understanding of another culture, and I want to experience their culture for myself. I'm a big foodie, so I want to have like actual Japanese food there, traditionally made. I was thinking about making it a travel type thing where rent like motorcycles and actually ride around Japan to see the scenery and go to different prefectures and things like that, so you can actually see the entire country, because I do feel like a deeper connection to that culture and that group of people than I do anybody else.
This is not a good time to start this conversation, but because we're not going to go into it that much on camera, but I'm sure we can bring it up again. That has a lot to do. I do you think that that's a past self thing?
Oh, I'm not sure. I have like deep loving and like connections to a lot of things like that, but there's something specific about the Japanese culture, and maybe, I don't know, like it's hard to think with this neon red beard and pasty white skin that I was a Japanese man or woman or person at some point in my past lives, but very much a possibility.
Right, not outside the realm, right? I feel mine's a little bit easier, but I also feel a similar connection to middle-aged Scandinavian era, Viking era, to put it shortly. Yep. And I often wonder that sometimes, if that was a part of why, because I honestly do think that that theology, I would say, in terms of past selves or past lives, I think that it could hold some merit, right? I'm not willing to immediately dismiss that as a possibility. So anyway, that's clearly going to be an episode for another day. Let's meet the past.
At least recycled biology.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's thermodynamics, right? Thinking about past lives is thermodynamics. And how many other religions like talk about reincarnation, or
every single one,
the reappropriation of one's spirit, or you know what I mean? So I mean, even the Old Norse teachings teach us about this, right? Like, so it's not outside the realm of possibility, I think. Clearly it's pretty far-fetched, and like it's something that we really don't have a way to know any more about, but I definitely, maybe we should do an episode on past lives sometime. Maybe I'll write that down, because that would be pretty fun here, stream talk show topics, past lives. Well, cool. Anything else that you want to talk about or bring up before we do the outro here?
No, man, this was really cool. I enjoyed it. I didn't even know there was a specific type of like archery form or anything. I thought I was just shooting a Yumi the same way you would shoot anything else. But it's cool to see that there's actually competition and a deeper meaning for shooting.
Right? Yeah, that absolutely blows my mind. And it's always really cool to see how different cultures utilize different tools and expressions, not just physically, like with the Yumi or the bow, but also mentally, like we were talking about with the mental agility and overcoming one's mistakes, but also the mental focus in trying not to make them to begin with, which I think are two separate but equally important aspects to life. So it's been wonderful. A big thank you, big shout out to you for coming on the show and keeping me company while we explored about the topic. I mean, it's always really, really fun that, like I say all the time, that my friends want to come on here and gab with me, because obviously I do enjoy it. I know it was a bit of a different episode than the first one you were on, because we kind of talked about a subject that we already kind of knew about. And then this time, we were learning completely new things together. So thanks for being flexible there. Well, and a bit, and yeah, it means a lot that that, you know, like I say this all the time, that my friends and family come spend time with me while I gab for 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Right.
So, oh, cool, man. Well, I'll go ahead and let you go. And then I'll do the outro here. I will talk to you when I talk to you, dude.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime,
Have a good
man.
one.
Love you, buddy.
Love you.
Bye. Well, everybody, that was the show. That is the show. That was Silver Smoke. If you have not checked out Silver Smoke yet, please do so. I didn't really ask Silver Smoke, but I'm gonna assume consent based on his hobby here. If you have not seen Silver Smoke stream already, please go ahead and make sure you pop over there and follow them. He is very, very good at this. He's got links to all of his other socials. He's been streaming Apex. It's been quite fun to watch him and the people that he plays Apex with just go fucking ham. So make sure you pop over there. If you enjoyed our guest, you want to say hi, there are other places that you can find him. Again, big shout out to all of you, the Archers, for making the show what it is, for being here, for being in chat, for keeping me company. Mrs. Maju, Jupiter, River Styx, Torgoth, Silver Smoke, of course, thanks to you. But I appreciate each and every one of you. It doesn't matter if there's 3 people in here or 3,000 people in here. The fact that you took the time out of your day, your Sunday, a day where you could have very easily slept till 3 p.m. because God knows we all fucking need it. You instead chose to wake up fairly early and spend the day with me. So I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And I can't wait to do it again next Sunday, which, to remind y'all, we are going to have a very, very fun show. Scrolling. Next week, we're going to be talking with our good buddy, Alicia. You saw her in chat today. We're going to be talking about the shackles of human nature. What is it that makes humans so violent? Why do most of us like fucking so much? Why are we all so apt to hang out in groups? Why are we social animals? Let's talk about these things. Let's figure it out. Let's define them. Let's get a little bit deeper understanding of the shackles of human nature. Next week on Sunday Tea with Bowborne and the Archers. Same time, same place, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Same beautiful face. And let's get one more, just for me. Let's get a volley in the chat. Show everybody some love. That's for you. That's for you, Archers. If you can hear me right now, the volley that I just put there is for you. I'm not going to rate anybody. I'm going to go ahead and let the auto host take care of it. So if y'all want to see what else is in store, just leave the webpage up. And if you don't, well, then I will see you next time. You know, I might do a VR stream later this afternoon as part of my my daily workout here. So if you don't want to miss that, put on your notifications, or don't. You're an adult. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and continue with the tradition of ending the stream mid-sentence, or so one thought. You know, every time I think I want to end the stream mid-sentence, I always find something more that I want